Hello everybody and welcome to the Lion's Den video on how to cook a real pumpkin pie. Here are the ingredients you'll need before you get started. The first and most important ingredient is to get that fresh pumpkin straight off the vine if you can. If not, stop by your local orchard and pick one up. And when you get home to the kitchen, preheat your oven to 325 while you're cutting this pumpkin so that you can have the oven ready to go when the cutting's all done. So go ahead and cut your pumpkin in half. You want to make sure that it's nice and golden on the inside and it looks delicious. Otherwise, if you've got a store-bought one and it's got some blemishes, you may want to pick yourself a different pumpkin. But once you know it's a good one, go ahead and scoop out all of the guts, make sure to get all of the seeds, and even more so, make sure you get all of the stringy bits from inside the pumpkin. If you leave any of the stringy bits, those are what can leave the texture of your pumpkin a little bit unsavory. So make sure to get them all out, and don't be afraid to cut away a little bit of the flesh as you go along to make sure you get all of the strings. Once you're sure your pumpkin is free of all stringy bits and seeds, go ahead and pop it in the oven at that 325 for about 30 to 40 minutes for a small pumpkin and maybe as long as an hour for a bigger one. The most important thing in this process is to make sure the pumpkin is soft throughout, so don't be afraid to leave it in a few minutes longer. To test that your pumpkin is done, you want to poke it with a fork or a spoon and make sure that it's soft throughout, and if it is, you want to scoop out the flesh of the pumpkin and puree it in small batches in a blender, or maybe use a hand mixer if you don't have a blender around. And then while you're doing that, increase the temperature of the oven to about 450 degrees while you prep the rest of the mixture. Using a large bowl, you want to slightly beat the eggs and add in your brown sugar, your flour, your salt, your pumpkin puree, about 2 cups worth, and the pumpkin pie spice and the evaporated milk. Now make sure every time you add an ingredient, constantly stirring it so that everything is added in evenly. I don't like to over mix it, so I use a fork to make sure that everything stays consistent throughout the mixture. And when you add in that evaporated milk, it may seem extremely watery, but that's actually the consistency we're going for. It'll all stand up once you get it in the oven. Poke some holes in your pie crust to prep it for the oven, and then pour in the beautiful mixture that's going to eventually become your delicious pumpkin pie. I can almost smell it already. Before you put this in the oven, you're going to want to put a strip of aluminum foil around the edge of the crust to prevent it from over browning. Pop it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 450, then reduce the temperature to 350 and bake it for an additional 40 to 50 minutes. And when there's about 20 minutes left, you can remove the foil from your pie. And a real pumpkin pie wouldn't be complete unless you got yourself some real whipped cream. If you guys make this pie, I would love to hear about it with a video response or in the comments below. Good luck making it, and if you have any questions, just let me know. This one is delicious. It's delicious, James. Is yours delicious?
Yes. Also good.
Joey, what do you think?
Sugar.